Hey guys, welcome back to Life Untangled. This is KC
and Shane. Thank you guys for joining us on our godly platform to inspire, evolve, and share all of our transparencies.
yes, Shane gets mad at me because for whatever reason I can't remember her catchphrase, but she's so adept at saying it, I just let her do everything.
And then if I forget one word, then he looks at me like, what happened?
Professionalism.
Hey, we strive for excellence. You got to try and do that as much as possible.
Yes, and in this episode, in this podcast, in this video, we are going to do part 2, continuing on with nutrition. More specifically, our nutrition. What are some nutrition tips that we found, some great healthy foods, substitutes from things that you are normally eating that you should kind of like do away with or wean off of, and institute these type of foods into your diet if you want to see, health increases, weight loss, and the other numerous benefits that my wife hands down knows like the back of her hand. I know some, but I'm gonna follow my beautiful wife's lead.
I didn't know I was gonna start, but okay. So pretty much our lifestyle health changes occurred, I would say about 14 years ago, right? Is that about right?
Actually, that is 100% right.
Right around
13 years
right
ago.
around that time that I started having noticeable changes in my skin, my health, and then on top of it, setbacks that just kind of sprung out of nowhere. Upon us moving, we currently are in Florida, but we used to live in California. We ventured out there, and the lifestyle changes, the
Wait.
food.
She's jumping ahead a couple of years. 13 years we were in Florida. However,
No,
we were in... Yeah, we're talking about the sugar thing. That's where we started from. Kasai was like 3.
Oh, you're going way back. I'm just starting
you gotta...
overall lifestyle health changes.
Some stories you have to start at the very beginning.
Okay.
What was your
But
the
that was
catalyst?
13 years ago. That's where I was starting.
Yeah, we were in LA 13 years ago.
Yes, we were.
No, we weren't.
Yeah.
Kasai was not. Kasai was like a baby.
Babe, yes, we were.
No, we weren't.
Babe.
When you changed the sugar, I have the proof on pictures.
Wait, when I changed it, you mean the brown sugar?
Yes, that's where it started.
That was in Culver City.
No, it was not.
Or was it in La Tijera?
No, that was
Are
LA.
we really...
No, we keeping it real with the people.
Yeah, we keep it real. Wait, we don't like...
I'm gonna state from when I remember, and if that is close to what...
are you saying prior, like right when we were
All
in our...
We were married in our
home.
second apartment, which was in Del Rey. Right?
Yeah.
So I come home from work for lunch, and she was like, babe, we're no longer getting white sugar. And I'm like, okay, what type of sugar are we going to eat? I found out all of this stuff, and take it away.
About sugar, which, okay, let's start at the core. And he's correct in that area. I totally I've changed up so much things when it comes to health because I have a passion for, just constantly learning and striving to do better with your health and overall lifestyle. So with the sugar, what occurred was because I was also doing at the time a lot of research about autism and how foods, affect a child's gut health, brain, everything. I read a research study that sugar is the number one ingredient that is causing a lot of health issues, diseases, inflammatory things in people's body, especially for a child or a person that already has underlying gut issues. So when he came home and I had read all these different things and books that I had ordered, that's when I implemented the change of no more white sugar, because we learned that white sugar or white bread, or not starches, because some starches are good for the body, and it depends on how you're using it and your body type as well as your blood type. Anything processed is not good, period. It has in a lot of chemicals. It alters your entire brain function, your gut function, even down to your mood and your energy levels. So I read that too much high content of sugar going into the body and it being broken down is a main ingredient that also causes children under the spectrum to have more setbacks in already what they're dealing with. Sugar also is the core underlying ingredient of inflammatory complications in the body. So inflammation, if you all don't know, inflammation is also the number one, and you can look this up online on your own. I am a big believer in giving people information and letting you kind of learn, look it up, get your own facts lined up, take your own notes. Inflammation of any kind has been connected to every single disease out there, from lupus to fibromyalgia to autism, period. I mean, the list goes on and on. It was, yeah, like he said, it is mind-boggling how deep inflammation, sugar, certain foods, and things are connected that bring on a lot of these illnesses, diseases, autoimmune issues, which now in this era, autoimmune has become a big topic on many different platforms, on many different health TV shows. I mean, we never heard of autoimmune issues. It was seldom back in the 80s, 70s. So,
but here's the big kicker and the connection, though, right? We've identified sugar is a main culprit. So what products have sugar, right? So there's a saying,
will shock you guys.
the game is not to be told, is to be sold. So one of the main reasons why sugar is used is because it's addictive, right? Like it's one molecule away from like cocaine, right? So you know what cocaine is a hell of a drug. So you shouldn't be, but nearly everything has a form of sugar in it. Why do you think fast food restaurants use it? Why do you think soda is in it, right? If it didn't have that addictive quality to it, you wouldn't want to like keep drinking it.
Drinking it, right?
I remember like back in the day in the 80s that I used to drink a certain product. All of these products in these fast food restaurants and sodas have sugar in it because the actual game of, let's say, like selling drugs is not the initial buy. It's the comeback. You want someone to keep coming back for your product. Why do you think you see in all of these reality shows? Let's just look at Snowfall. Goes with the crack epidemic. People got addicted off of one hit, and they just couldn't stop.
Yeah,
so
keeps you coming back.
So if you look at like soda, French fries, like almost anything from fast food restaurants, it has some sort of sugar in it. Like they will not list the entirety of the ingredients. You just like, I just want my fries and my soda. Give it to me. You eat it. It satisfies that need for like a half an hour. Then a half an hour later, you're hungry.
Yeah.
You go back for more of the product, and the result is you gain weight. You get this jelly roll.
That's a good point he serves there. And don't think, guys, we're not speaking from experience. I grew up, 80s, 90s baby. My husband, 60s, 70s.
No,
but pretty much we grew up in that era where you know, we love the same stuff. Every time the ice cream truck, you heard that music, you came running downstairs with your little $2, $5 to buy your lemon heads, your Cheetos, Doritos,
25-cent
Pepsi.
juices in the bodegas in the Bronx and
So
in New York.
we took it all in too, and we were speaking from experience. You know, we used to drink sodas and eat fast food stuff. I think you guys can agree. Wendy's, the Frosty with the large fries, you know, or Mickey D's with the apple pies. But, you know, they all have everything in life, and I teach this to my family. It's like one of our mottos. Everything is good in moderation, but you also have to know what I'm putting in. Is it going to, what am I going to benefit from it too? Because if you're a person that has underlying, you know, blood sugar levels issues, or you have something genetic. Because the thing is, a lot of us don't even go to the doctors when we get our physicals yearly. Doctors don't say to you, so let us, you know, do a complete thorough examination from your blood type down to your DNA structure, you know, to test, well, what works for you. Another thing, many people don't even know. You don't learn till you're in your 20s, 30s, unless you have a parent that's a functional medicine doctor or a doctor and they just know more insightful information and they can foresee things. Getting a food allergen test done. That is so crucial, because what my gut can digest, maybe his gut can't digest. You know, he might be able to eat a whole bunch of peanut butter and I can't. I might have to reduce myself to eating coconut butter or macadamia butter.
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna show you some of our products, but the main point is that a lot of the foods that you think are good for you are not really that good for you. You wonder why, like, man, I've gained so much weight. It's literally the foods that is killing you when foods
or altering your
DNA or your structure. And the Most High God made food for healing, for enjoyment.
But to add to that, he is 100% right. He made wholesome foods, like the foods that are of the land,
Real
not
foods.
biogenetics, not everything thrown into creating the Doritos and making it sparkle, or making this making this food taste like a mixture of, you know what, like those new mixed chips they have out there that's like salsa and guacamole put together.
All the extra seasonings and the salts and Flavoroids that go into certain chips.
You meant flavonoids.
Flavonoids. Sorry.
Flavoroids.
Flavoroids. Flavors that like steroids.
That was a good one.
And we're gonna try to refrain from calling these products out, because we don't want them to be like, oh, well, our foods is this and that. There's
no,
like,
we're not. This is no
my
pun
G.
intended to no one. Everyone has to find what works best for them, what they enjoy, what works best for your family. And like I said, just do your own research, do your own development in what you read, what you enjoy. You know, make the best of it. But to go back to the sugar, I forgot to add in. Knowing that sugar is in everything, and I mean everything, down to your ketchup, down to your, your juices your children are drinking. If something says apple juice, grape juice, you don't want to buy it and it says like, it has like 15, 20 ingredients in it, because then it's not really what it says it is, you know? So balance is key, but also simplicity. So he's going to touch on, you know, with cooking, like what we do. We keep it simple, clean, not all these different spices and stuff that are necessary unless you're cooking with natural, clean herbs and spices that you know where the sources it's coming from. So
Yeah, so you know, for example, the old rhetoric is and part of my family comes from down south on my mother's side, and a lot of folk just use garlic salt, garlic,
Old Bay, What's the name of that?
No, just a whole plethora of seasonings just to season meat. When like literally you do not need all of that stuff, because when you go to a 5-star restaurant and you have like a chef on the level of like Bobby Flay, cooking your meal, he is not using any of those products. Yet you eat the food and you're like, man, this food was fantastic. It's literally like salt, pepper, garlic, maybe a little bit of paprika, and maybe cayenne pepper. And a lot of them just find a cayenne pepper and they'll just chop it up and put it in there. They don't use like the powder. Sometimes they do, but it's maybe just 5 ingredients.
And
that's
it's fresh, clean ingredients. Like their garlic is freshly chopped up.
Freshly chopped garlic,
herbs, spices,
cilantro,
parsley,
rosemary,
sage. We can go on and on.
Exactly. But when you start removing, if you go into your pantry and just look at all the spices, you're going to be like, whoa, that's sugar right there, right?
There is the ding, 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 ding.
So
he just made a good point. Like spices, check your spice ingredients on your bottles, because you'll see a lot of them contain things that you probably can't even pronunciate. So that's important. And a lot of them have sugar.
So when you start looking at your meals for the entirety of the day, start with breakfast, snacks, lunch, snacks, and dinner, or whatever, right? So when you identify, like, okay, well, for breakfast, say you're going to have, pancakes or waffles, eggs, bacon, whatever. That's the typical American breakfast. Caribbean folk, I can saltfish
all day.
All day, yam, banana, plantains, dumplings. It's more of a wholesome meal to keep your energy. But even with a Caribbean breakfast, it's a little bit too much starch. What does starch do? It converts into
energy.
No, it converts into sugar.
Sugar, yeah, when it
converts
breaks down
into
in your body.
glucose.
But remember, our ancestors used that to their benefit because they walked a lot. They had a lot of movement going on.
They have cars or like trains and transportation. They had to walk to work.
So that was to their benefit. They were burning off quickly those caloric intakes that they were getting. Now, you look around and it's an epidemic of how even children are now just dealing with obesity. The young ladies are eating all these foods that they're packed with so much chemicals, from things that are GMO based to gluten to antibiotics and like things that are just poured into these items. And you have young ladies that or not even young ladies, little girls in elementary school that are walking around that have a body like a 18-year-old.
Yeah. Well, that also goes into milk and the other combinations,
a whole combination of stuff
you're ingesting. But the main culprit is sugar, right? So you're getting sugar from the time you wake up
to the time you go to sleep,
right? The human body can literally fight off any and everything. Mm-hmm. It cannot fight when it's overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So if you remember that scene in The Matrix when Neo was fighting all those Mr. Smiths, when it was 1, 2, 3, he was fighting like maybe 5 or 6. But then when the whole slew of them, he had to like do that spin thing and then
remove himself from it.
Right? Because he was being overwhelmed. That's how the body is. But unfortunately, we can't just fly away. So we just get bombarded. Yeah. And that's when you start getting cancers and sicknesses and
just a lot of health related issues.
Not just the health related issues. What did you say your stomach is?
Your stomach is actually the main part of your entire body. It's your main. Let's put it this way: we have a brain, but the truth is that your gut is your brain.
That's what
your gut controls your brain. It's not the other way around.
Right. So there's that saying, it's like, man, I have a gut feeling. something in my gut is telling me like I'm in danger.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. That's
you
true.
feel like when you feel nervous, it's like, ooh, I feel it in my gut.
Like a sixth sense feeling.
Right? That you got to make that connection. That gut is your second brain telling you you might be in danger
Something's
or whatever.
off, yeah.
But because of certain chemicals, it turns off that signal. Did you know in the one of the reasons why oh man, what is that chemical?
For what? If you give
For
me
that for cheese. And then they put it high fructose corn syrup. I'm sorry. So one of the main reasons high fructose corn syrup is being used because
substitution.
No, it's not substitution. It turns off the signal in your brain for you to stop. Right? Back in the 80s, before high fructose corn syrup, sodas was just made with sugar. Mm-hmm. So if you drunk too much, you'd be like, oh man, my stomach, because your stomach lets you know like, yo, you eating too much sugar. You got to stop or you're going to die. But the big company said, hey, let's see, we can use high fructose corn syrup. We're saving money because we don't have to like bring in tons and tons of sugar, as well as it makes people continuously drink and eat our products because it gives them a false sense of satisfaction.
A fullness, yes, a fullness.
So
too.
You may eat a bag of chips that have the high fructose corn syrup in it, and then you wondering why, like, man, I just ate a bag of chips and I'm still hungry. So then you eat more. Then you eat it with soda. Oh, I'm still hungry. Then you eat more. Now you wondering like, man,
that's
I used
good.
to be
that's
like
really
150 pounds. Now I'm 250 pounds.
Yeah, that's
so,
really good. Because if you think about it, what you're saying, you said that it acts as basically like a
inhibitor.
And yes, thank you. An inhibitor. When products used to have the real sugar, the body, like, you know, we say the body has its own mind. It knows what needs to be thrusted out and what is okay to pass through. So if your body knows it's being it's consuming too much of anything, it stops. It just turns off. So it gives it a chance to kind of rebuild and or like on its own fast to remove whatever is in there too much. So if you're having an inhibitor and it's blocking that, it keeps like just turning off your signals. That also leads to obesity and all these other things that are occurring with people's bodies. Especially, it's worldwide, but in America, it's extremely high.
No,
it's actually, I think, worse than heart attacks right now.
Yeah, like, so. And for our European audience, I just want to like give super respect to you because when my wife and I went to Europe and Italy, it was such not a culture shock because I've seen similarities between both countries, but the way Europeans, Italians, we want to go back to Europe, but the way y'all eat is great because it's just like home cooked meals and like herbs. Y'all eat so much great food
and they stop to
and
eat.
Like you get full off of it.
Yeah.
I remember when we were in Italy and we're walking around and Italy is nothing but hills. All we did was we just purchased like a big juicy green apple and I forgot maybe some water.
We got water, and was that when we stopped and we found a nice little pizzeria?
Yes.
And we got that like pizza.
Patata brava or something.
No,
I don't know. It was a potato
with herbs.
pizza.
Had a lot of herbs and.
So we basically survived off of one huge green apple for 8 hours, and I remember I'm like, man, I ate this apple and I'm
not hungry.
Not hungry. I'm full. Even when we had breakfast.
Sorry, that was our daughter.
That was our little cookie. Love you.
Love you. Sorry.
You can
okay.
come. You want to say hi?
No, I'm fine.
So we had eggs. And at first, I was like, babe, I think they giving me rotten eggs. Because, like, literally, like, the eggs were, like, super orange. And I was just like, nah, this is impossible. Why are these eggs? I'm just like, they trying to kill a brother up in here? What's going? What's good? But my wife explains, she's like, no, that's how eggs are
color.
supposed to look. These are like fresh eggs. I'm like, really? So they made me scramble eggs, and it like, again, Americans are used to like these huge plates of a lot of eggs.
Of anything, not just anything. Of anything. Like here, we triple size everything.
And I'm not gonna call out restaurants or whatever, but you go to certain restaurants, you get mad like, wait a minute, where's the rest of my food?
Yeah.
But in Italy, they served me I think it was 2 boiled eggs, and I ate it.
And I think you got like a muffin or a biscuit or something, or no, croissant. It was a in-house made croissant.
2 boiled eggs and a croissant, and I was just like,
and salad.
I was like, man, what's going on? We in this nice hotel and they being cheap with the food.
And then he gets coffee because he loves coffee.
I love coffee.
But see, he wasn't used to, especially living in America, he wasn't used to smaller portions, especially being such a big guy, tall guy. When they brought him the coffee, it was hilarious because here you can go to, any restaurant. I'm not, like we said, we're not going to use any particular name, and you can order a coffee and get 3 different sizes, up it. But there, they bring him this coffee, and he's like all ready for the coffee, got a fresh warm shower, ready to go take on the tour, go out, have fun. And they bring him this piccolo, which means small, coffee. And it was about this size.
Yeah, I was just
and for him to hold it, it was hilarious because he likes drinking with his little finger up in there.
Cheerio.
And he was like, what is this? I'm like, that's the coffee. And he was like, I need like 6 of these joints. So yeah, like, go ahead with that. I just had to add that in.
Yeah, so needless to say, Europe has something ahead of us, and actually I believe that they don't allow certain American products because they themselves know, like, why are we going to give this to our people? This is going to kill us. So they don't allow certain products to cross over into their borders.
Yeah.
But over in America, like, anything goes.
Yeah, that's true. It's banned. A lot of our products are banned from making it across their borders. They don't allow anything, I think, with MSG, high fructose corn syrup, carrageen. Like there's a lot of other ingredients, but we're not going into the ingredient list. Just do your research, see what works for you. We're talking mainly about sugar, which is the topic.
The topic is for right now is
and how our lifestyle came to be with implementing and changing our own foods as time went along.
So the main point is start checking your foods, checking the ingredients. See if there's sugar in it or ingredients that you can't even pronounce. Then like, okay, we got to get rid of this, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is kind of identifying foods that go good in your system.
Yeah.
Because, and again, I believe we mentioned this in part 1, and if you could check here, whatever for part 1. But I realized that I'm not Mexican. I'm not. And I can't eat corn chips and corn tortillas all day because it just doesn't sit well in my system. And when I figured that out, my life changed. I was like, oh, wow, so I can't have these type of chips. I needed to find something else. And that's when Shane found Siete, and it's been like super good. And that's just one product. There's probably a lot of products that you guys shouldn't even really be touching because genetically it's not you guys. If you are Mexican, then so be it. You're used to it. But certain foods you just can't eat because it's not gonna really be good for your organs on the inside.
Your system. And it's the same thing goes for even your culture, what you were brought up as, whatever you're brought up as is kind of like what your body, your genetics is used to consuming.
Right.
But even for people that are born into their culture, it doesn't necessarily mean that the foods that they eat are going to work for you, because mind you, even Siete, which we found and we have loved every product we've tried, if you read up on their story, they themselves being of Mexican heritage, their body was not able to eat certain corn products in their family because they themselves, were, I believe it was like gluten intolerant or something or the other, and corn just wasn't sitting well with their body mechanics. So it's just finding what works for you. There's people that are, you could be born also into a particular culture or heritage, and because of your blood type, you might be allergic to shellfish. I'm Caribbean. I know I have a cousin that they just can't eat lobster because their body, they react very sporadic to it. So it's just finding what works for you. Just if you need to get a food allergen test done, or eating for your blood type, which is really good. There's books out there on eating for your blood type. It will change you and kind of guide you on if you're looking to make a health change or a lifestyle health change, to consciously just help you to either deal with issues that many are having nowadays with bloatedness. A lot of people are eating products not knowing what is going into them, and out of nowhere they're becoming bloated. Like they literally will eat and they feel bloated, or the weight is just sitting in the lower extremities. They're gaining weight, and also it's because we're a society that we're not as active as we should be. Some people are blessed; they're born with a faster metabolism. Some aren't; it's underactive. Anything you want to add?
What are some foods that possess mold in it?
Oh,
so
boy, that's a
there's
going extra deep.
There's a couple of ingredients, and this is really gonna help somebody who's watching us. But there are foods that you think are good for you, and it's causing havoc inside of your body.
And the number one, I would say, since you asked and it just came to me, would be peanuts.
Bam, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was alluding to. So
and also,
take it away.
We're not gonna go into a peanut conversation.
Just a quick. Give them a quick minute summary of what you found out, or how did you find this out.
I'll put the link. I'll have him add the link down below, because that's gonna just take a whole nother face on. But yes, I learned because of my going through my own health and rebuilding and whatnot through a holistic naturopathic doctor that for me, and she doesn't even recommend it honestly for anyone. She was like, no one should be touching peanuts except for elephants. She said because it has a high level of it can create mold very quickly, and it's not made for our bodies to really ingest it, which is why so many people and children are allergic to it when they eat it. And also because of the type of oil that it is that it's coated in. And here's the kicker: peanut is what fries are cooked in, right? Some
certain companies use peanut oil to fry their products.
Yeah. So even going back to the sugar, I'm not gonna go off on peanuts and stuff, because I can go into eggs and this and that and the other. Like, going back to the sugar, food for thought. Think about what milk you're using. Unless you're someone who's consciously aware and you're using, almond milk, or you make your own oat milk at home. I recommend highly try keeping your pantry and your refrigerator simple. And just looking into recipes. I'm constantly looking up recipes to enjoy for me and my family. But milk contains sugar. Why does milk contain sugar? Ask yourself that question. We give our children so much milk without realizing. I did it myself. milk not only has the main source of sugar in it, and I'm referring to whole milk, 2% milk, all of those. I'm not referring to nut milks. But even store-bought nut milk, if you're not careful what company you're buying from, a lot of milks will say, oh, it's pure almond milk. But if you turn and look at the ingredients, it's far from that. It should only have 2 ingredients on it. All it takes to make almond milk, guys, is almonds, fresh almonds, and water. And you blend it up. You could add your own little pinch of honey in it, raw honey or cinnamon or whatever you want to add to it to store it in your fridge. But a lot of these companies are just adding a lot of, like he said, flavonoids in and,
Not
additives.
Flavoroids.
Flavonoids. Additives and just different things to alter the chemistry of what you're consuming. So just think about that. Like, milk also creates mucus within our system. Mucus is connected to inflammation. So the body can break down mucus if you're a person that, does your detoxing and your cleansing, your fasting. Like I said, everything is good in a healthy balance, finding what works for you. But mucus is also another culprit to diseases in the body. You can look up Dr. Seaby. There's tons of doctors I can name to you. Functional medicine doctors, holistic doctors. They all agree on that one thing. That's pretty much it. That's one ingredient. That's one item that you can think about.
It's a major key. Like,
and we noticed a huge difference, right?
Yeah,
with
like
milk. When we took our kid off of that, it was like day and night. Like, his mood, his behavior, everything. Which he's over there smiling at me and giving me the thumbs up.
So,
Are you okay? You want something? Oh.
Okay.
Well, we're almost done. Thank you.
Our son is great. So one of the, I know people are probably like, well, I don't have time, like, cause and again, everybody understands you got to work, but there is time, because how much time do you waste in a doctor's office, right?
That's good.
And I'm gonna be honest, and like, if a doctor is watching this, I'm not aiming for doctors, but doctors don't know what they're talking about. I'm just keeping it 100.
Not all, few.
Most doctors
are willing to go the extra mile.
No, they don't, because every human is completely different from the next human. So what works for you is not going to work on the next person.
Yeah, that's true.
All they do is experiment on you, and they're just like, oh, take some of this, and then you take it, and you're like, well, I'm breaking out on a rash. You're like, oh, you know what? All right, take this on top of this, because that's going to counteract the rash. Now you're going to be like, oh, I'm constipated. Oh, well, take this. It's just
they keep
feeding the
adding
beast.
on layers, yeah.
So I'm not saying they're not intelligent. You have to be intelligent to be a doctor, but their knowledge is very limited, because they're just like taught to just be like, okay, well, we're going to counteract this and with this and with this.
Well, to get to the point, they don't really get nutritional class. So they don't,
Exactly.
they don't fundamentally, I think they're only required to get an hour or 2 hours under their belt for that.
And please forgive me, because me and my wife
He got
have
tired of
gone
going to doctors.
to so many doctors, giving us like the runaround. So it got to the point where I'm about to choke a doctor out and just be like, are you going to waste my time?
Uncensored or censored.
So
we're cutting that part out.
No, I'm keeping that in. But the point is there's always time. You always have to learn, especially for your health. Your health is number one. Everybody got to get money, but if you don't have your health, how are you going to spend the money? So do the research, prep your meals, look through your pantries, and just start eliminating stuff.
Yeah, start slow. I never recommend people that come to me and ask, well, how do you get your kids to try this? Or how did you make this dish? Start slow. You don't have to do what I did. I kind of did sections at a time, that I just pulled everything out and started going through it, because it can be excessively time consuming as well as financially. But start slow. Start from, switching out what you feel you want to try to see if your body, kind of like an elimination diet. where you might say, okay, I'm going to take advice, or I'm going to try on my own to remove whole milk and then make my own oat milk. Oats are very cheap. Who doesn't eat oatmeal? I'm pretty sure every family has oats in their house. And just kind of do your research. Look up the information. If you have to get tested to see if you're a person who's, can't take gluten, that's a big thing right now. Or maybe you want to start off with, for me, organic. The word organic it's kind of like an up and down thing. I believe like food should just be natural, period. Like all these companies have organic this, organic that. When you turn it around and you read it, thank you. Coming from the guy who actually used to do product designs.
Yeah, so
it's all just a mask. Like when you buy an item, you're like, ooh, it says organic. And you should be looking for things more like, there's no gluten, fair trade, it's pasture raised, there's things to really look for that are more fundamentally important. So just take your time. Don't rush yourself to saying, okay, well, I'm totally going to turn my lifestyle to vegan. If that works for you, great. Some people want to be a pescatarian. Other people want to be, on a keto diet. But you have to see if it works for you.
It's all that is all creative marketing. Like one person said, like, oh, this works for me. I know, the keto diet. And I'm not trying to say the keto diet doesn't work. It has its benefits.
Help, yeah.
But the real benefit is doing the research yourself, testing your body to see like, oh, this works, this doesn't work, and eating in moderation and eliminating completely unhealthy products. Because if the time is going to be wasted with you getting sick, going to the hospital, going to consultations, trying to figure out what's wrong with you, when you should have just said, let me just start eliminating these stuff first.
Yeah, listen to your body. Your body tells you, you're in tune with who you are and the body that God gave you. So create, I would say, to add to my husband and what he's shared with you guys just now, it all starts with, yes, time is important for everyone and what where they're choosing to put the time in, but just create a habit, like habits that will help you. It takes how long to create a habit? Something like 14 days or
for a habit to be like ingrained. Usually they say, oh, it takes anywhere up to 21 days. That's
right.
False. It takes more. It takes probably around 2 months
Yeah.
for a real habit to be ingrained in you, and you can, move forward with it.
And it depends on the individual, because my husband has always said, you're good. I don't know how you get so disciplined when it comes to eating a certain way or just sticking to it, because it takes a lot of mindset.
Discipline.
Yes, a lot of it. I've had to follow certain protocols on how to eat, how to this, and my husband will say, man, you eat that every day on time, on point, and it's just, if you want to live, if you love and enjoy the life that was given to you, you will go the extra mile. Just like with a job, if you really, or your passion or your purpose, if you know what your calling is, you are going to put yourself onto that track and go full speed ahead.
1,000%.
Yeah. So
100%. So let us know in the comments below if you are feeling what we're saying, because I really believe that this video, all our videos are very informative, but this one is really going to help a lot of people. Let us know down below if you disagree, if you agree. Maybe
share your tips, your comments. What do you do? What have you seen that works for you, that you've switched out for your kids or for yourself, even for if you're a mom or a father or a family that have children that are under the autism spectrum. What implements have you added in, taken out that have worked for you? We love sharing. That's what our platform is for. We love receiving the information, because it also helps us to create topics that are relatable to you guys, and it's the most important thing.
Would you want to offer some consultation?
Sure. I actually am planning to do that. That's my goal, is to offer consultations, and I am looking myself into using my wellness and health tips and things that I've done along the years that have, a lot of people have said has been helpful and useful to them. And my goal is connected to designing as well as creating my own venture along the lines of holistic healing and functional medicine.
So if you want to pour into my wife, and maybe she'll give you, maybe we might give a good discount code or whatever, but hit her up and she might be able to help you adjust your diet, and she'll
create a little plan for you if you need advice on what items to shop for, where to shop for it too, because a lot of people aren't able to get out to the store in person. I can give you tips on what websites or what tips where you can start off with, how you could create easy, simple recipes that can help your children to start off, especially if you're trying to wean them off of the things that schools expose them to, with like a variety of foods that are not the healthiest foods as well. I'll be truly glad to help you and your family.
And we'll leave down below in the description just a couple of websites and products that it's just a staple in our pantry, and
we'll even give you a little tour of our pantry and little things we have
in this
in our
thing.
fridge.
You're gonna see the B-roll of our fridge and some of the products,
our little spice rack area, or just things that we use. And even myself, I love learning. So if you know of a great brand or something you want to share with me that is clean, that is non-toxic, I even go into as deep as products for the skin, because the biggest part on our body, the biggest organ, are our pores. Things, makeup lines that you use, hair products that you use. Think about it, what you wash your hair with, every single thing you put on your body, even down to your clothing, affects you in some sort of way. And it gets deep, but you just have to start small and build your way up.
And I think I'm still gonna try and verify this, but our next episode, which will be the last for this season, but I'm gonna try and
we're not sure yet. We're still deciding if it's gonna be 7 or 8 episodes.
Yeah, we're still deciding, but it may be the next to the last. But I'm gonna share.
Should I share?
I'm gonna see if I can get someone who is very, very, very good at what he does in training athletes, and he's very, very intelligent with nutrition. So I'm gonna see if I can get him, and that will be our first guest.
That will be our first guest, but we also have another guest that is extremely knowledgeable.
Oh yeah.
That is extremely knowledgeable as well. Maybe we can get them together. That would be even better on the episode. It might be probably, I don't know, like a Zoom call, or we're gonna plan for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll leave the information down below. We'll leave my email if you want to reach out, if you guys want to send us any, questions or anything that you would like to share. We welcome it all.
Yes. And on that note, we thank you so much for watching Life Untangled. This is Casey.
And Shane.
And this is a godly platform that does
I'll take over.
backspins.
A godly platform. Thank you guys for joining us on our platform. A godly platform to inspire, evolve, and share all our transparencies. And guys, we have a little news to share. We are doing our episodes up to probably one more, or the next one for our season to be over, because I also have another platform, which is Shane Put You On and Anointed Shane Style. But my Shane Put You On YouTube will be getting new videos to come soon. So I will share that with you guys once we get it up in a couple days.
Right, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe to Shane Put You On, KASAIFILMS, Life Untangled.
And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you guys can get notified to what videos we come through with, so you're able to keep up with all the information we have to share.
Yes, and if you like this video. I think you'll like this one right here.
Or no, maybe you might like this one down here.
No, this one.
Why do we always say that and I don't see a video?